bought this boat. Have always wanted this type of a boat. It's a master craft. It needs a little bit of work. I'm going to be doing an entire new speaker setup with amps and tower speakers and stuff. And it's used, so it does have some chips on the gel coat and also some other stuff. So I think I'm gonna document this, but anyway, here it goes. Here's some of the projects we're gonna do on this boat. Maybe you guys will enjoy it. I don't know. It's a little outside of what I usually do on my channel, so if you enjoy this, let me know in the comments and I'll do more stuff like this, I guess. All right, so here's the boat. In a nutshell, there's some gel coat that needs to be done. Got some spider cracks here and also in a couple other areas, not too bad. But what's really concerning me is down here. This is the wheel well, and when you pull the boat in to get on the trailer in the water, it has been chipping. So if you can see the chips along here, and what it's doing is it's hitting this diamond plate right here. So it's the same for the other side. So I got to do something about that. And a couple other things. We're going to put on some bearing buddies on here, and obviously do the whole speaker system. So there we go. All right, so as you can see, this is the problem area. Went ahead and I got the fender off and I chipped this out. You got to have like a little area for that gel coat to bite into. So I scraped that out, and then I cleaned the whole thing down with acetone. And the challenge I'm running into is, so this is the boat, and along the bottom of it, which I guess you won't really see unless it's out of the water, this part is white and this part is black. So right along this line is the white and black division, and some of the chip goes in this far and some of the chip comes out this far. So I'm going to try to do the black first, and then come back after that dries, maybe sand it down a little bit, and then apply the white because it's completely underneath. So I figured I could try to do that first. So I'm going to do all the black first while I have it all mixed. So I got this spot, and then there are several spots I want to do, but on the front of the boat I had this little spot here. It's a little scratch, so I dug that out a little bit, again cleaned it off with acetone, and we'll see how that works there. But there's several spots I want to do, but I've never done this before, so I'm going to only do these spots first. So there's another little spot right in there, and then down here. All right, so we've got this little teeny tiny chip there. That shouldn't be too big of a deal. And then again above this fender where it was hitting, we got some more chips all along here, and the same kind of situation where it goes in between white and black. So I hope that turns out okay. And I got a little secret weapon with the gel coat stuff. I'm doing one little scratch back here. This is where the ski platform is. I took the ski platform off. We're going to redo that. And so I want to practice on a flat area. So I chose this one here to do. Same thing here, not really that big of a deal, but you kind of like, rough that up a little bit, and I wanted to practice there. And then down here too, this isn't really that big of a deal. That's kind of superficial, but I wanted to see what I could do just freehand there, because again, I've never done this before. So yeah, I've never done this before, and kind of trying out a couple different game plans. And the supply that I got is obviously the gel coat, but then I got this fumed silica. And what this will do, especially for those overhang areas, is the fumed silica it thickens the actual gel coat, which is kind of like a paint. You got to mix it in, and it will create a better, stronger adhesive, filling in gaps a little bit more, and then also it won't like drip or run. So if you have something that's kind of like an overhang, you put this stuff in with the gel coat itself, you stir it in, and it's a little bit more like peanut butter, so it'll hold its form. So that's kind of what I'm hoping we'll do, especially above those wheel well areas. So let's try it out and see how it goes. Okay, we went ahead and mixed up that black gel coat, and I put in a little bit of that Cabasil, the fumed silica, to thicken it. The instructions said to put about 10 drops of the hardener, which is MEK, methyl ethyl something, and per ounce of the gel coat, which is basically kind of like a paint almost. Okay, so it comes in the kind of paint viscosity, you know, and then you put in the hardener in there, and that kind of acts kind of almost like an epoxy would, I suppose. It hardens it and makes that chemical reaction and turns it into that gel coat. So, and then in order to thicken it a little bit, we added some of the Cabasil. I'm going to open up the can and show you what the Cabasil looks like, just so you know. And but let me put on my mask first, because this stuff is super powdery, and you should definitely wear a mask with this stuff. Okay. Okay, this is the Cabasil fumed silica. It is incredibly light and powdery. So just like, look how, I mean, it's like snow, you know? So you definitely want to wear some kind of mask to protect yourself. You don't want that stuff going in your lungs, okay guys? So let's go ahead and take a look and see what it looks like. Here is the first area under here. It's looking okay. You know, might have to sand that down just a little bit, but I think that's okay. And then this is really the area that I wanted to pay attention to. And you can see that there's a little bit of a lip ridge right in there. But I'll go ahead and let that cure. Maybe I'll come back and sand it or whatever, and put on a second coat on there. I think I got unwaxed gel coat. So if you get unwaxed, you can do second coats. If you do the waxed kind that comes with wax, that is like a finish coat. So there's the front of the boat, and that's looking pretty good. Probably needs to be sanded down a little bit. I'm not really sure what I did right or wrong, so if you guys are experts, let me know. And then there's that other little divot right in there. That's, again, that's okay. That might need a second coat. There's that little notch right there, and it was starting to harden up a little bit, so that's why it has some streaking in there. And then over here, by the time I got over here, you know, you can definitely see some streaking on the bottom, but I'm willing to tolerate a little imperfection, and I'm going to sand that down so it won't look that bad. But I'm willing to tolerate some imperfection in order to prevent water from coming in there. And this doesn't look so good. Too streaky. And that was getting towards the end where the gel coat was kind of like hardening, you know. Same thing there. I'm gonna have to sand that down and probably redo it a little bit. So, but I'm not really too concerned about back here and here as much as I definitely wanted to get these areas of the boat to protect. You got to protect the fiberglass itself, and that's what the gel coat does. So you get the gel coat, it acts like a protectant, keeps the water out from the fiberglass. All right, so we're gonna do the white part right now, and I just want to kind of show you how you have to prepare this a little bit. So come on, let's go take a look. We got obviously the boat, we're on the back, and this is what it's looked like when it's kind of like scraped out a little bit. So this is all scraped out with just a little earthen bracket, you know, a little tool, and then I gotta get that a little bit right there, a little bit, So you got to do that in order to give the gel coat something to bite on and something to adhere to, and then clear it off with some acetone and a clean rag. So you got there in the back of the boat, and then in the front of the boat we have that place underneath there. I'm going to do that last and put some of the silica in there, the fumed silica. And we have some spider cracks here, and again I went through and I kind of scraped all those out and cleaned it off with acetone. You want to get all the wax and stuff out of there so that gel coat can adhere properly. And then in the back here had some more, and they're looking deeper now because you got to scrape that out. You can't just fill the gel coat right over the little cracks. And then back here, these were a little more superficial, and it's probably the people coming on and off the boat that are kind of scraping it a little bit, putting the skis, hitting it or whatever. So I'm just going to hit this right here as well. So anyhow, what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to just do the straight gel coat on there, and I'm not going to put any fumed silica because these are all horizontal. They're this from the top. You don't need that fumed silica necessarily. So I'm going to try that. Again, I've never done this before, so I'm kind of learning as I go along, but I'm not going to use the fumed silica for the top portion. Let's see how that goes. Well, it's a good thing somebody invented sandpaper. This is more difficult than what it looks. I'm going to show you guys the first coat on there, and you can judge for yourself, but I'm not very happy with it. So I'm definitely going to have to sand it down and see where it goes from there. But here we go in the back, and as you can see, there's a lot of streaks and stuff in there. I mean, I did get into the cracks and stuff, so I guess that's a win, quote unquote, but not a win-win. And it was more difficult to use than with the silica in there. It's going around. You can see here, it wanted to run, so I got some runs out of it, and maybe I just didn't let it. I can still see some kind of like, I don't know, hues of cracks in there, and it's got like waves and stuff. So I'm not really thrilled with the way that turned out, but I will sand it down and it will look better. Same thing over here, you can kind of see some cracks. And then in the back, yeah, this looks amateurish, to be honest with you. So there was that one spot in the front of the boat down here, and I put too much fumed silica in there, but hey, I did cover up the hole and stuff, so I don't know. I mean, it's kind of serving its purpose, so to speak, because I want to put that on there to make sure that no water gets into the actual fiberglass itself. So I mean, as far as that's concerned, I think I did a decent job, but then to make it look better and look nicer, I think there's going to be some sanding involved. So so that's my first experience. If you guys are better at doing this, which I'm sure 99% of you are than I am, please tell me in the comments, like, what did I do wrong? I was in the shade. It's a pretty nice day. I mean, it is 77, 78 degrees, so it's mild. I put in about 8 drops of the ethyl, MEK, I think it is, per ounce of the gel coat, and I stirred it well. So I'm not doing something right. Maybe it's just something better with practice. But anyhow, if you guys have any tips, let me know, and let me know how much fumed silica too you're supposed to put in the gel coat. I think I had it just under on the black and probably way over on the white, so I'm trying to figure out how much to put in, like per ounce or whatever. So this area right here was patched, or at least coated with the new gel coat that I have, and as you can probably see, I'm not very happy with the way this turned out. I'm definitely gonna have to sand it. But this area here, which is the factory finish, is a different, you know, shade. I'll probably have to contact Mastercraft, or I don't know, maybe if it's publicly available, find out what the paint code is on there. But again, I'm happy with the fact that it actually, the gel coat is on here and it filled in the cracks. Now I got to spend some extra work sanding this down and then getting a color match as well. So there are some other areas in the boat that actually turned out okay. There's smaller areas that are kind of like underneath a little overhang or something, that like a shadow would cover it up, the imperfections. But so far I'm not very happy with this. Functionally it's okay, but you know, this is a nice boat. I want to have it and be able to enjoy it and be proud of it. So this is unacceptable to me, so I'm going to work on this. Okay, so we got a lot of the like kind of the main bulk of the sanding done. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Definitely the black looks a lot worse right now, just because I think black scratches and shows up more like on a camera and whatnot than the white does. But I'm not entirely disappointed with this. I'm definitely going to have to get some color matching, maybe some, I don't know, special order Mastercraft paint to match the black and the white, which is kind of an off-white. And then who knows, because it's been in the sun. So I'll have to color match that somehow. But let's take a look and see how it looks so far. So down here is the main one that I've been working on. That actually doesn't look too bad. I'm going to put another little layer of gel coat there to even out that nice edge, to make it nice and crisp. But I think that's going to turn out okay. And then in the back here on the top, this is the white area, and this area here was gel coated, so you can kind of see a little bit of the spider cracking showing through the sand, but that's pretty nice and smooth right there. I'll go over it with a finer course of the sanding block, but it doesn't look too bad, you know. The back here also, there was kind of like some little bit of damage right there. Sorry, it's the fall in Ohio. And that's also going to look real nice. There's a bracket that goes right there, so it'll blend in real nice. But that looks okay. So that looks okay. I'm happy with that so far. That's the rough sanding. And then over here was another little patch area. So I think that, you know, once that's sanded down a little bit more, gone over again, and maybe painted to match a little bit, I'm not really exactly sure, but that was a problem there where water could have gotten in. And over here, also not looking too bad. Kind of like that. It's better than the black. So there's a little ding there. That's not me. I don't really know how to fix that, but that's actually part of the original gel coat kind of sticking out. But this whole area right here had some spider cracking in it. Looks a lot better. Down here on the other wheel well. So, you know, I mean, not too bad, right? I mean, there's like, it's a little bit more that I gotta straighten out there. So I'll put another coat on there. So here, but that was a big chunk was out of there, okay? And then I'll come in later on to do the white underneath. So I'm just doing the black right now here. Okay, so here's a pylon for the ski rack, the overhead ski rack, and there's some stress fractures or cracks right in there. You can kind of see them real close, but again, the bulk sanding has been done. That looks okay. And then underneath here, there was a hole or some chipping in the gel coat here. And I did a first coat and I sanded it, and then I found a little bit more underneath So there's another one there, and on the other side right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. Clean this up real good with the acetone, and then fill that, and maybe just kind of put a nice little, you know, coat on the bottom here on this underside. I don't know if they call this the keel or whatever, but some little scratches, not too bad, but definitely that little ding, I don't like that. And this part over here, so we're gonna get the gel coat on there as well, and we're definitely gonna use the powder, silica powder. That stuff is much better than just using the regular gel coat on its own. Okay, back out in front, and I noticed that there's a little bit of spider cracking here that I didn't see before, so I'm going to take care of that. And then it looks like the previous owner had a little bit of a repair here, so this and this, you know, that might be related. So so I sanded that down, and we'll get that a little bit better color matched. That was not me, that was the previous owner did a repair. That's me right there. I got new letters coming in. I'm not in Maryland anymore. For this boat's not in Maryland anymore. We're in Ohio now. So so this was just like a little repair here from me, and then and that's pretty much it, all the way back to the end of the boat. So so yeah, so that's like the first coat and also the first sanding. This is all new to me, so if I'm doing something wrong, let me know. I'm sure I am. I'm sure this is like a, you know, kind of an artist type of thing, where if you get more experience and more practice, it just becomes a little more natural for you, and you do a better job. So please don't crucify me if I'm doing something wrong. If I am doing something wrong, let me know. I don't care if you have constructive criticism. I like that, because then the next time I'll do it better, you know. So that's how we all learn. But yeah, so far so good. Better than when I first started, you know, with the sanding at the beginning of the video, and we'll take it from there. Okay, if you guys remember from last fall, I did some repair on the not really so much on the fiberglass, but I did some gel coat repair. First time I ever did that. And then what I'm doing now is I'm just going to try to even everything out. This has some stuff I want to take care of. So looks a little nasty right now, as you can see from that garbage. But what I've done already is, especially over here in the back, I went around and just with the soapy water, I did some 1200 grit. Went over that whole area. You can see, like down there is where I did that repair, and then in some other areas too. So I went over it with 1200, and now I'm going to go over it with 2000 grit. And this stuff is like super fine. That'll take out all kinds of little scratches and stuff. So you just a little soapy water. It's already starting to look better. And then get some on the paper too. You can actually just go ahead and soak that if you want. I see some guys, but look at that. It's going over real nice, and that'll smooth out any of the little teeny tiny like micro scratches and stuff. And this one had quite a bit, so I can't really do it with two hands. I'm gonna do the whole thing with the 2000, wash it off, it'll look like crap, and then we're gonna buff. I've got some ultra cut compound, swirl remover, and then I got the pads, fine foam, and medium. So we'll use the medium with the ultra cut, and then the fine with the swirl remover, and then we'll go over it with the wax. It's gonna look just freaking awesome. Just wait. Got the 2000 grit going on. Looks pretty nasty. Look at that. It's already looking good there. You can tell that paint's good underneath there. Look at this. Holy crap, guys. Holy crap. Yeah, buddy. It's that area I repaired that down there. A little ding there, nothing I can do about that. Like some girl did the hot tui thing on there. Okay, look at that. Yeah, all right, so you get the picture. That's all 2000 grit, 1200 grit, then 2000 grit. And we're gonna wash it off now and then do the buffing compound. It's gonna look wonderful. Okay, so we just did the 2000 and then I just went and I cleaned it just with dish detergent and water. It's already looking much better. Lots of little scratches are all out of there. It's not really beaten up because there's no wax on it. You know, it'll dry out real quick. That's not to worry. But you get all those droplets off of there. This side's looking pretty good because it's in the shade. But yeah, so that was sanded right there. And it looks good underneath there. But you know, on camera, some of those areas will not be as shiny just because there's no wax on there yet. So so we're gonna buff it. Here we go with the buffing. I'm just using a Chicago Electric Harbor Freight. I'm gonna put it on low. I like low so it doesn't burn. And we could do either one of those. I don't think I'm gonna do ultra cut. I think I'm just gonna do swirl remover and see how that goes. And I'm gonna go with the fine. Sorry, I blew over in the wind. The fine pad, which for this brand happens to be yellow. So put that on the buffer. It's Velcro. It's amazing. So we'll when this dries off, we'll buff it. Feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then in the meantime too, I got to get those MD stickers off here because I'm in Ohio, and the guy I bought it from was obviously in the great state of Maryland, capital M small d period, the only state in the union like that. Every other state, the abbreviation is capitals, and they're famous for blue crabs. I think they're the 7th state in the union. So you're getting a little extra colonial history with this boat repair lesson here. Oh, look at this. So that's really fine in there. I don't know, maybe I'll be able to kind of buff that in with the buffer. I don't know. So there's going to be a few little imperfections, but it's looking pretty good. I mean, like look on the bottom there. You know, I did those repairs in the bottom. You can hardly even see that, and that's before cutting in with the polish and the wax. And that's also going to be kind of like down by the water line, I would guess. I don't know, I haven't had this out in the water yet other than the test drive. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm really excited. This is my first boat. If you guys are just watching, my name is Dean, 52 years old. I live in Ohio, and I've always wanted a boat. And I went to SeaWorld when I was a kid, and they were pulling these really hot babes out there water skiing, and they were using a boat just like this. I think it was a Nautique, ski Nautique, but I was like, wow, what kind of boat is that? It had the, you know, the engine like right in the center, obviously made for it. This is, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago. And I was like, wow, that's a really slick looking boat. And I've always liked these master crafts. So I got this one. It's used. It's 20 years old, 21 years old now. So it's not, I didn't go out and spend $1 million on it. And I enjoy, if you watch my channel, I enjoy hands-on stuff. It's like therapeutic for me. And I just really enjoy kind of customizing things. You get to know your property that way. And then also bringing back stuff, you know, back to life, so to speak. When it maybe it's a little rough around the edges. I've done that with houses, buildings, cars, now the boat, and looking forward to spending some time with my family out on here. So that's this project, and it's coming to a conclusion. I'm getting a lot of it done. A little sneak peek for the interior. Look at that floor in there, man. Looking good. I redid this. I don't know if you guys saw. You got to see the clips that I have for redoing that interior, that vinyl work. I did that over the winter, and it really turned out well. I got a lot of good tips. I've never done that before, and I have a lot of good tips if you guys want to save a ton of money and just do it yourself. It's relatively easy, just takes time and patience. You can do it. So thanks for hanging in there with me. I know I'm long-winded sometimes, but I'm just waiting for this paint to dry, so to speak. So okay, I'm gonna let it dry and then come back. Okay, I did about the front half of the boat here, and I'm just using this Meguiar's mirror glaze swirl remover. You can also go to like actually cutting compound, which really gets in there. That tells you how deep the cuts are and stuff, you know. And I already went over this with the sandpaper, so I was like, I think I'll just do the polishing compound. Anyhow, it's looking really good. There's obviously some swirls in there because this isn't the wax, but look how much shinier that is. And then just to give you an idea, it's like that's compounded and that's not. So see how that gets wet? So that's just wet sanded there, and then this is compounded over here. It's a little bit of glaze. I gotta wipe that off. It's just like wax, sort of. You gotta wipe it off. So, but like, look at the difference between this here and this here. I mean, it makes a big difference, huge difference. So, and it's I'm just using this Harbor Freight thingamabob, and I put it on the lowest setting. You don't need to go like super fast at all, and especially like when it's like really hot out like it is today, because you'll just burn it up. There's no need to, unless you're a professional, and I guess you just like time is money, I guess, you know. But for me, making a mistake is time is money, not getting it done 30 minutes faster. That's not time is money for me. So I'm just some guy. So anyhow, I'm gonna keep on doing this. I'll do the whole boat and come back, do a review, and then we'll come back and with the towel, wipe it all down, get all the crusties off of there, and put some wax on here. It's gonna look beautiful. Woo-wee. Man, it's hot out here. All right, so one complete buff all the way around. I did use a little ultra cut compound. I'll show you where, with the medium grit pad, but most of it was just the light compound for swirls and stuff from Meguiar's and the light pad. So hey, look how nice that is, man. That's super nice. It just turned out so nice. I mean, you can't even tell. You don't even remember, did you? That did work down there. I mean, tell the truth, you didn't remember. Look at that. There's a little bit more down here. Some scratches. So I could take care of that a little bit more if I wanted to. And then right here, some scratches up here. But some of that will come out a little bit better with the wax. But here's the big thing. I mean, come on, man. So much nicer back there. I mean, so much nicer. Look at that. This is so much nicer. Somebody had put in this decal. You can kind of even see the lettering from the previous one, BOAT. So they put that on. You know, I didn't do that. There was the old Mastercraft underneath there. I didn't do that. I think that's the patch I did right here. So you can tell because it doesn't have the flake on it. So yeah, I mean, it's not like completely perfect, but I mean, come on. Look at that. This side, for some reason, took longer. Look how nice that looked. I mean, even the ProStar decal like got buffed up and is shining, man. Get Captain Crunch in action. If you don't like Captain Crunch, turn off my channel. You are not my kind of people. If you like Captain Crunch, put a comment in the section below. Okay, so here's one of the patches I did. And that white right there is actually the non-black gel coat that I did from like underneath, you know, with that silica powder. And then I did that whole area right there, so you can kind of see it, you know. I'm not claiming to be perfect here. I'm just some schmuck. Actually, I'm a lawyer who likes to play on the weekends. Look how nice that looks, though. This has not even been waxed yet. Remember this area down in here? That was all like white-ish, the whole area. Now it's got a little discoloration, but like a million times better. And if you're in the water, you're not gonna see that. So that looks like a little patch right there. Did I do that? I think I did that. I missed that. I'm gonna have to do that right there. I don't know if I did that or not. I'm gonna have to remember. I'm gonna go back in the footage and see if I did that. I don't know, maybe the other guy did it. It might have been me, but I'll go over that again. That's the one spot I missed. Look how nice that looks. Super, super, super nice. A couple little things here and there, but that's actually, I can feel that with my fingernail. A couple little hairlines here, you know, little, nothing, no big deal though. I mean, it doesn't go through all the way to the, doesn't go all the way through to the fiberglass. I don't know if you guys know how this works. Some of you do probably, but there's fiberglass, and then on top of that is like the gel coat. And the gel coat is, for lack of a better word, it's like paint on a car. So you got a steel car with paint on it. This is fiberglass with gel coat. Almost the same thing, but a lot thicker. I mean, so you can sand this gel coat down, and it's like, look how nice that turns out. So nice. Like, look, you can see me in the reflection now. Come on. All right, so super happy with that. I'm gonna call that a victory, and I will put a coat of wax on there just to protect it, you know, against the elements. It's not going in salt water or brackish water anymore. This boat, its life is done with that crap. So, but I probably won't show the wax later on when we do like a final I'm out skiing, you know, completed video. You'll just see it then. So, so I consider that a success. I got the 1200 grit, 2000 grit, and this little soapy water when I was doing it by hand. And I got the Bauer fine foam polishing pad, and then I went with the a little bit on the ultra compound from the Meguiar glaze, and then I also did the Meguiar's, what is it, swirl finish, like level 3 or whatever. It's whatever their fine is. Mirror glaze 9, but it's 3. See that? Swirl remover 2.0, and then the Harbor Freight Bauer, and I just do that on a 10, and then come back afterwards and take off the haze with a towel. It's so good, so nice. All right, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. More to come.